Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Hope you are having a great day. Um, how are y'all? I'm getting ready to link you guys a link for a lot of the stuff that I'm mentioning today. So sprinkle, sprinkle. Y'all say hello as you get in. See y'all? Okay. All right. So we're going to be talking about books, art, and some stuff that I wanted to show you guys. So the first thing that I want to show y'all, because I can't wait, it's so good, I want to share it with you. And there are different brands of, candles that have the same scent, but it's called books, like the scented candle that smells like books or new books or pages or like a library book or something like that. This is exactly what it smells like a new book that you just open up or a library with new books. They also have one that smells like old books. And I bought the old book essential oil so I could put in my candles that I already have. But if you like the smell of libraries, books, or just like new paper or pages, I definitely recommend y'all getting a candle that smells like books or new books or old books. Old books have like a more leathery smell with like a sandalwood or like a sweet like tobacco scent because old books mean people have owned them, and so maybe they smoked a pipe when they read it, or maybe it's been in a library and on the wooden bookshelf, so there's like that wooden undertone. But the new books smell more clean, crisp, and like fresh. So that's the difference. And I did link my Amazon shops recommendation, and yeah, I'll just link it again. All right, so this is going to be the link where all of my things I'm mentioning, or most of it, is going to be. All right, so books. Okay, I've been going to the library. I bought books, and I've been reading a lot. Okay, more than one book at the same time as well. So I know y'all on this channel, a lot of y'all like tarot cards, card reading. And I checked this book out of the library. It's called Pamela Coleman Smith, The Untold Story. And she is the artist that drew the Waite tarot cards. You can kind of tell by her artwork. This is like her story and all her letters and things that people had, like memorabilia. She drew for a lot of magazines and illustrated a lot of books before she drew tarot. So you can kind of tell by her style, if you have a deck of tarot cards, that she was the artist. Pamela Cole Smith. She was Jamaican, and then she went to live in England. And this is her picture. So she had a series that she would tell stories from back home in Jamaica. And she would like get all dressed and have candles lit and just, she was also a storyteller. So she would gather people in the Victorian, she was in the Victorian era. She would gather people and tell her story. She'd also, there was a passage in here where she wrote that she didn't get paid a lot for doing those tarot cards. She got paid more for her other works, for publications, newspapers, books, and things like that. She had her art featured in galleries, but she got paid very little for her tarot card. But that is probably going to be her most famous, artwork, since so many people use the deck that she drew. Okay, so these are some of the art This is some of the art that she drew prior to a lot of her work. She did a lot of stuff that went back to Jamaica and voodoo and things like that. So she had characters in her stories, from Jamaica, and she also did like work for other people, and a lot of them commissioned her. She was paid. And there's lots of letters in here requesting her pay, like, and and she was very sought after artist. So one of her other stories was the Anansi stories. So this book is really good if you like memorabilia, letters, reading about artists, and how they operated in their daily lives, and the colorful stories behind how they worked and things like that, what they were more known for. So a lot of people don't realize that the artist who drew their tarot cards, if you have the Rider Waite set, was Jamaican, and her name was Pamela Coleman Smith. So y'all get this book. It's really nice. It is linked in that description, and it's also linked at the very top. And all the books that I'm talking about are going to be linked, so I'm just going to keep linking it. But I checked this one out of the library. And sometimes if I'm not sure if I'm going to like a book enough to buy it, I'll go see if the library has it. And if they do, and I really like it, then I'll buy it on Amazon. So going to the library is a great way to sample books, literally. Oh, why Jet, sprinkle, sprinkle. Appreciate you. The next book I got was Watercolor, The Visual History of This Popular Medium. Okay, so it's by Michael Clarke. So I got this because I wanted to see how people watercolored back in the old days, what kind of tools they used, and like the companies that created the paints were actually artists. They were people who mixed and made their own paints back in the old days, and then they started marketing them. But they were also artists. So one of the examples of the name of one of the artists and their company for mixing watercolors, they started making the palettes, or have this cute necklace, portable palette you can wear around your neck. It's like a little watercolor necklace. And I think it was Winsor and Newton. They also make inks, if you are familiar with inks and calligraphy. So they have watercolor, inks, and all sorts of art tools. They still sell stuff today. Winsor and Newton, and other companies as well that started off way back when. See, they show the tools of the old days and how people used to have to mix their own paint and like connect them to book covers and things like that. So today we're lucky. So then we have the first watercolor kit by Winsor and Newton. It's the Art Box by Winsor and Newton. And they won a medal for creating this art box back in the old days, because it would allow an artist to carry all their art, products, watercolor, pencils, brushes, and all those kind of things, water cans, in one box. So these were like things that were invented a while back. And let's see, 1851. So this kind of gives you the history of it all. And like, I also got this other book on everyday sketching. And you don't have to be perfect. It's very simple type sketches. But this one is Everyday Sketching and Drawing by Stephen B. Reddy. And it's very good if you're an artist that likes to draw still lives, but like in a linear way with like pen and stuff. So good for just sketching. And those are both linked as well in that description as well if you want to look at those. But I'm going to show y'all my art box. I'll take a break for the books. I have an art box. And if y'all watched my vlog, y'all might have seen me show you my art box. But this one is cool because it has like these little things on the side if you want to put like a leather strap on it if it's heavy and you want to carry it for a long distance. Or it has this handle, and I believe this is pine it's made out of. And I got this at Hobby Lobby, but they sell these on Amazon too. And this is also linked below if y'all are interested in getting an art box for y'all's art supply. So it's kind of messy because I flipped it over by accident. But if y'all like that ASMR paintbrush sound, there you go. Organizing. So let me just put this back so I can show you what it looks like. All right. So here it is, and it has like a pull-out piece. And then underneath, you can put all your paints. I have some bottles in there, some watercolors, and then I have more watercolors here. I also have this set on the, and then a little mixing palette. There's room for a little palette so you can put your paints on here. I also have a canvas in here, pens. I have a little like dipping pen. You can put your ink or use paint or whatever. So I like to keep it organized all in one place, and it cuts down on like junk in my desk. So when I'm ready to paint, I just pull this out, open it up, and just pull out all my tools and things like that. And it's very easily stored. You can put it under a bed, couch, whatnot. This is my favorite. I just recently got these watercolors, and everything I'm talking about is linked, okay? So just that link will show you to all. Well, actually, let me show you. Let me get my art link because they're separate from the book links. Let me hit my art supply link right quick. I know a lot of you guys are looking for some new hobbies or things to do. It's getting cold. For once, it was like 50-something degrees this morning. And I was so, actually it's 49 degrees. And I was so happy because I love cool weather. So this is 48 colors, and these come out. So you can buy the individual colors, like if you just run out of one and just replace it. Or add, there's room to add like 3 more colors in there, maybe 4. And it does have some metallic colors in there as well as other colors. And these are really good quality. It has this little link, this little thing on the back. So you could carry it like this, or hold on to it like this if you're painting standing up. And you're just, so you can hold it and it won't fall out of your hand, which is something that I really like. That set came with like a little art pen with water. You can put water in there so you don't have to keep dipping water, which is very convenient. And it also came with a pencil and some paper. And that's also linked at the art link that I just linked below. So, and also I like this because I can set stuff on top of it, or I can set it under my desk, and it's like really out of the way. So I'm just gonna set it down here. And it's nice because you can take it anywhere. All right. I do plan to draw some more. I did draw a little fall picture. I framed it. It's so cute, right? This is more of the line style drawing with the dark pen and things like that. More of like a illustration type of look. And so I drew like a little teacup, some pumpkins, and like a little window with the fall trees on the outside. If y'all have seen some of my artwork, I hung a lot of it up already in my parlor, in my dining room, because I did a few pieces. And so I hung those up. I did, I might show y'all, if y'all already saw me paint them, y'all saw me paint them. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right, so I've been really getting into like Halloween and fall lately, as y'all can tell. And I was at the library and I saw this book. It's called October Dreams. A celebration of Halloween. It is a bunch of short Halloween stories by like authors who write horror, and it's about like stuff that happened to them on Halloween, as well as a couple of short stories that they wrote. And so there's Ray Bradbury in here. There's Dean Koontz. There's Ramsey Campbell, Ed Gorman, Peter Staub. There's all these different writers that are, known for writing horror and like scary and spooky stories or strange stories. And they like write about their favorite Halloween memory. And also there's short stories that they've written, maybe for like a magazine or just like a small piece. So they're not very long. I know it looks like a thick book, but if you read like 2 stories a day, you'll be finished with it real quick because they're so good. And you just want to finish them. They're like 2 to 3 pages a story or less. Some of them are like very less. And then the best part about this book, there's a place in there's one part where it tells you all the good Halloween movies to watch. There's a place, there's like a chapter where it tells you what all the good Halloween movies and books and things like that to read and watch, what they're about. They go through what they're about and everything. And it's pretty modern. So you're going to get an up to date. And then it goes into the early 2000s. So you're going to get a pretty moderate movies that are all out by now. So it's just really feel good, like vibes. It's not like spooky. It's just kind of, I would say, more weird and interesting. And some of the short stories are a little bit strange, but it gives you like those fall creepy Halloween vibes. So October Dreams, a celebration of Halloween. And I got this at the library, but I did find it on Amazon and I did link it so that you guys can look at all the books and supplies and things that I recommend. And this one is like, these are more like books and spiritual supplies on this link. So if you like candles, books, stuff like that, that's definitely your link. But easy to read because they're like short stories. So you read like 2 short stories a day and you'll be finished in a few days. So if you never thought you could read a book this thick, it's easy when there are a bunch of short stories. So a little helpful hint there. I know a lot of people get overwhelmed when they see a big thick book, but you don't have to read it in order. You can start from whichever story you want. So that's kind of why I like that. I got this book. This one is called Atlas of Perfumed Botany. And I have not read this one yet. I've read like 2 pages and I started taking notes because it was so good. So it goes into how fragrances are made, how it's not made, but like the plants, the wood, and it goes into, it's almost spiritual. It goes into how people in fragrances, are created, like what it brings out in people, like the history behind it. Like there's cinnamon, sandalwood, why people choose certain scents to go together and what it does. Like it's supposed to be an aphrodisiac and, all this kind of stuff. And so I got this one at the library. So it took all the notes, woods, flowers, leaves and stuff that people, different scents, like there's absinthe in here, artemisia, like it just, and there's some very beautiful artwork in there as well. But this was new and I saw at the library on display, And for anyone who loves perfume or oils or making their own scents, this book will definitely probably teach you how, to wear it, as well as what goes behind it, and like the botany and the flowers and all the woods and how they extract the smell from it. Like I didn't know how they extracted smells from certain things. And like you see certain flowers, but you don't know that it's the leaves or the stem that you actually smelling and not the actual petals or the flower. So it kind of just teaches you a lot about things that you didn't know. And this book was so good. I just literally had to stop, go find a notebook, and start taking notes on a lot of the stuff because I wanted to keep this knowledge. Even after I returned it to the library, I might go ahead and buy this, but in the meantime, I'm taking notes because it also teaches you how to wear the perfumes. Um, like I have some perfumes that I've been getting from Dossier, and they're renditions of like the designer brand perfumes, and it gives you like all the notes, what's in the perfume, and it's like, what is this for? Like, what are you wearing this perfume to create, or what does this perfume say about you? What are you telling the world with this perfume? And so a lot of the stuff in the perfume is giving a whole aura or message to people without you even speaking. So that's why I like the dossier, because it lists all the things that are in it and the notes that you're wearing on the bottle. Like, let me see if I can go find one for you. My favorite. All right. And I didn't link that. But my favorite, the one I'm wearing right now, is called Spicy Orchid. And I've been writing so y'all can see ink on my hand. And this one says top notes are cinnamon, pink pepper, mandarin. Hold on, lang lang, orchid plum, sandalwood, vanilla, incense, and patchouli. So, and look how much you get. I mean, you can't top this, okay? It's only $39 too. So it's a recreation of the Tom Ford's Black Orchid. And y'all know that's expensive. So $39. You can't even. Yeah, I have to use a magnifying glass. I got this at an antique shop. Y'all like it? This you can't find on Amazon. Maybe you can find something similar, but this is an antique magnifying glass that I bought in an antique store. Oh, hold on, I didn't see your. Okay, Goddess will read sprinkle sprinkle. Thank you for. Let's see. Thank you for your level up teachings. Sprinkle sprinkle. Well, you're welcome. I appreciate that. So, oh, I'm matching. Whenever I go to antique stores, I always look for interesting items that you're not going to find everywhere. And this was one of them. So I bought it. And plus, I really need magnifying glasses now because a lot of times there's stuff in small print that I can't read. And I'm so used to zooming in on my phone, I got spoiled. So now I can just zoom in with a magnifying glass. My other perfume that I really like is Floral Peony. And this has peony, lychee, lily, rose, magnolia, freesia. Base notes are musk, cedarwood, and honey. And I think this was Chloe, I believe, or something like that. I don't know. Y'all can go check it out. It tells you what their renditions of, so, on the website. And also there's a coupon code. But yes, look. My spy, some people call these spy glasses, but I just call them magnifying glasses. What do y'all call these? How long do they last? They last just as long as the original brand of fragrance that they are, renditions of. Like I put this spicy orchid on, and like when I have my Tom Ford, I don't want to spray like 1,000 sprays because it is expensive. But this, I can spray like 10 good sprays, and it will last all day. I can smell it like at the end of the day, it's still on me. Like even when I get ready to go to bed, it's still on. It's a very, very good like quality product. I'm trying to tell y'all. I would not be sitting up here telling y'all this if it wasn't something that I really used and loved. And the cap is magnetic too. And Dossier. Dossier. This smells so good. It smells like a warm hug. This is a perfect fall fragrance, the spicy orchid. Or if y'all want to spend the money, go get y'all the Black Orchid by Tom Ford. But this is only $39 and it smells exactly the same. You cannot tell the difference. I have both and I smelled them. This one, you can go crazy with it and not have to worry about it. So I'll link it again for y'all who missed that link. But yeah, y'all, I have a glow. Y'all can use my coupon code too to get $10 off or a little discount. I love smelling good. That's why I bought this book. Okay, so let me tell y'all something. Magic is also scents. When when you enter a room, you just don't enter. Your scent enters. You know what I'm saying? So when you smell a certain way, you're giving a certain message. You're giving a certain way of changing people's thoughts just by being there and smelling good. So that's why I got this book, Atlas of Perfume Botany by Jean-Claude Elena. So I like to learn about fragrances because I'm very sensitive to smell. I can smell something. I don't know how many people are like that, but I can smell stuff. Okay. From far away, what other people can't smell. So I like to smell like really good. And I have all these lotions, perfume, essential oils. I have to have candles that smell good. I'm always lighting incense because I need it to smell good. And that's what this book was telling you. Sis. There is a quote that I wrote from this book. This is what got me to go get my notebook. This quote right here. Y'all want me to read it? This quote right here. Let me find this quote. Whenever you're looking for something, you can't find it. Okay. Let me just get my notebook because it's in there. I like my notebook. All right. If I look through that book, I'll be there all day. Okay, here's the quote that I love from this book. The gods create scents. Human beings make perfume. Naked and frail, they can only survive by artifice, which is trickery. Jean Genin. So basically, the scents that you get from nature, like the pure scents that you get from nature, are of the gods or are divine. And when a human takes these scents and creates different, notes and amounts, and they, take the oil and make the tinctures and, make all these different types of scents and put them together in a different blend to make a certain scent or perfume. That is creating it's alchemy. It's literal alchemy from what is divine. You're taking it and making it more complex than what it was. And so it's very interesting what we can create. It's almost like how we create technology from the raw materials or the energy that we're supplied with. So it's kind of saying that we are also kind of like gods that can create something out of what was already created by the divine. We can take it to the next step. So that's what kind of made me get this book because it's so deep. It's not just about some perfumes. So that's also linked in the top pinned one. Yes, in the books and supplies that I recommend. I get excited when I talk about stuff that I'm passionate about. So, and I ordered these little composition notebooks on Amazon. Did y'all know, okay, I'm just gonna, for those of y'all who are looking at ways to make money, did y'all know that you can design composition notebooks on like as a published book on Amazon? It's like a journal, and all you have to do is create the cover art uploaded as a journal or like notebook type of thing, and see their stuff's all on the back with their info on it. And Amazon, and you can sell it through Amazon. I mean, I don't know how much money this person made off this, but I definitely bought it. So good idea. All right, my book bag. All right. Yeah. Got another watercolor book. I didn't put this one on the list, but it's just like a step-by-step kind of instruction. Because I like watercoloring and I like to see other people's techniques, and I like to see the formal techniques, even though I've taken art for many years, like in high school and high school art and 1 year, like one semester in college. But like I like to see how other people create. And I just was in an artsy mood. Um, if y'all are on my Patreon, y'all probably saw me reading this book, Llewellyn's Little Book of Halloween by Mickey Mueller. And this is a very updated, modern look at Halloween. There's spells, recipes, history of Halloween, symbolism of Halloween, and all that kind of stuff in there. It's really cute to read just if you're in a Octobery mood, or if you're looking for cute things to do on Halloween or spells to perform. There's spells in here too on Halloween and where a lot of the symbolism comes from. It's a little cute book. There are also like flowers in here, plants, and things from the garden that how to make herb bottles and things like that. So it's a witchy, cute Halloween book for those who are wanting a little extra activities and knowledge. I really like it because it's modern, so it keeps you up to date with new ways and techniques that people are doing things. And it's just a cute little book. It's also linked at that top link. And the interior is so cute. Look. Do like a little flip through. So, and there's parts in here with spells and like activities and crafts and stuff too. Recipes. So, cute little book to have. My book. You said that would be nice on a coffee table. I know, right? Okay, so I'm almost done with this book, Strange Frequencies, and I think I only have this much left, so I use the book cover as my bookmark. But I only have this much left. So far, so good. It's the best thing I could say about this book is it reads like it doesn't stay on one topic for very long. It goes in and out. This is by Peter Berbegal, Strange Frequencies. But it's kind of like you're just having a conversation with someone and y'all are talking about, frequencies, electromagnetic frequency, all this technology and stuff. It's almost like you're having a conversation with someone and they just say how frequencies affect different areas and things and, what it's connected to. So it's more like you're having a conversation with someone about this type of stuff, not like an instructional manual, not like something that someone did all this research and came up with. But I think it's a good read because it's easy to like relate to as you're talking to someone. So that's why I like it. Some people might like a more structured type of book, but I like feeling like someone's just talking to me, explaining their perspective. Because it's nice that way because you can have more in common and relate to the knowledge more if it's coming from a personal perspective. So that's why I kind of like that book. All right, y'all. I'm going to show y'all this book. Is probably going to change a lot of the way that I actually this book kind of allows me to feel like I already knew this type of stuff. It allows me to feel like, yeah, I knew that, but I'm glad someone is out here saying it now. This is called The Illustrated Secret History of the World by Mark Booth. They have ones that aren't illustrated and they're probably cheaper. I got this from Amazon. And this is basically telling you about all the stuff the secret society tries to hide and all the stuff that they tell you that really they're doing the opposite. And it tells you how to look at the world from their perspective and what it is they're doing and what they got you up here doing. It has signs, symbols, and I like how he writes. I haven't even gotten into the thick of it. I've gotten like this far, but so far I'm reading every word and taking notes. So far, he's telling you how to look at the history of the world from the perspective that the elites are taught to look at it, instead of the way that you're taught to look at it, the way that you're programmed to look at it. This is how other people are taught to look at it and to work like at it, like how you think, how you manifest, how you perform magic, the knowledge that you have, how to use it. It's telling you that they have you doing a lot of stuff wrong, or looking at a lot of stuff wrong is not beneficial to how you think and how you're able to create in this world. Like or how you're able to structure your life and create and manifest and things like that in this world, because they have you doing everything backwards, so that not everyone is going to be able to um, have the type of life that they want, no matter how hard they do this, no matter how hard they work, no matter they're programmed. And until they start seeking or looking into deeper knowledge, they're going to stay on that program. And it shows you exactly how they did it, why they did it, and how to look at life different. And the stories that were told, how to look at the stories differently. Who's really good, who's really bad, or how they make you perceive things. So if y'all don't get any of these books, I do suggest getting this one if you're into this, secret knowledge and kind of stuff like that, and how to think, how to view things. And it's really just confirmation for a lot of the ways that I think, or a lot of things that I already knew. But it probably goes much deeper, and there's a lot of stuff I probably don't know that I'm definitely so ready to know. So, yeah, y'all can get that at this link. It's like all the books that I've been. Oh, that's the perfume link. Sorry. Um, all the books that I mentioned are definitely gonna be. I'm just gonna keep linking it because I know a lot of y'all are just coming in, and um, I don't know. Are y'all on Goodreads? Have y'all heard of what Goodreads is? It's a website that you can keep track of all the books that you read. Okay, this is my Amazon suggestion list with books and other spiritual items that I suggest, and this is on there, along with a book scented candle. So while you're reading, light your book scented candle, have the smell of books, get your cup of tea like I do. Put on your fireplace if it's cool where you are. My fireplace is on. I know we barely get any type of weather and we throw on the fireplace, yes. And just burn your incense if you like. Light your candles. I like to smell good, so I'm spraying my clothes because, like, when you're all snuggled and cuddled up in a blanket, sometimes, and you smell like that whiff of perfume on you, it's like, and then you smell the candle. It's like a, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a virtual reality. It is a virtual reality, according to. It's like a virtual reality, like a 4D, 5D experience when you have scents, smells, books, fire going, if you have some ambiance music in the background, it's really nice. So it kind of allows you to experience the most of your environment, your comfort, your escape to whatever you're escaping to in the books. And of course, your taste, your sense of smell, it all raises your frequency to a certain vibe. And the combination of all of this definitely makes you feel like you're living your best life. Y'all know I couldn't go nowhere without promoting my book, Leveling Up to Your Best Life, Creating a Life of Comfort and Luxury. And so this book definitely is good for people that want more of this type of, you know, different ways of looking at life, how you were trained to look at life versus how you could be seeing life and experiencing life and creating your life. This is why I love this book, because this book is like definitely saying how certain people were trained and programmed not to enjoy life, and how not to, create when they speak, or how not to, feel a certain way. This book definitely reminds us of what we can have on any budget as long as our mindsets are correct. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and link that too. I'm just linking stuff today, aren't I? This will be the last one because like I'm tired linking. But definitely this is on Amazon as well because I published through Amazon. So all my other books are also available on Amazon. But you definitely, it's going to look a little bit different. It's going to have pink around, this part on Amazon. So you're going to have a different book. This is a hardcover. They also come in paperback, and it's cheaper in paperback. So y'all make sure you don't get that. Oh, Nachama Sprinkle Sprinkle. The Danish and Norse call what you are doing Haigi or Haig. Sprinkle Sprinkle. Yes, I almost checked out a book on that, and I saw a video on it. But I definitely feel that, and I've read a lot about that. But I've always kind of tried to live like that, and I didn't even know that there was a word for it until I saw that. But I definitely feel it's also a lot deeper and more spiritual as well, and a lot more what you call hidden. A lot. It's very occult as well, if you really think about it. I think high is definitely good, but if it goes into the occult, I didn't really study it as much as I had liked to. But if it goes into the occult and how, we shape and create our lives, then definitely yes. But this book shows like why people hid stuff, why people don't allow other people to live their best lives, and why is it always exclusive? And I feel like it's very good that people are learning more, and that's the key: learning more and knowing yourself. I feel like learning more and knowing who you are and what it is you like is so important. Um, and a lot of the stuff that we like, a lot of other people like. We have a lot of things in common, and finding out what we like as individuals also helps us to find other like minded people. And so we can actually enjoy life more with people that are similar to us, or think similar to us. Because, like, in the world today, so many people are taught to fit in, stand in line, and don't make any ripples, or make sure you're doing what society tells you to do. And if that is what you like, more power to you. But some people, they don't like that, especially when you get to a certain age and you've already done all that and you're like, it doesn't do anything for me. Then you want to really find something deeper. So I think a lot of people are looking more inward these days, reading a lot more, becoming more of who they are. And a lot of times we just need the space to create our lives, and instead of allowing society to create it, or instead of allowing other people to recommend stuff, like when you're in school, maybe a teenager, people kept recommending jobs to you that made a lot of money or, da 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 da. And that's all fine and dandy because we do need money. That's number one. But also, I say have an extra thing that you like to do that you love. So, or many things, because if your job fails or your career fails, you always have that passion of what you love to do, and you can always make money on that, no matter what, because that's your passion. And if you built, your money up by working and saving or having a business, and you can do your passions at the same time, that that is a gift. And a lot of people need to reclaim their gifts and figure out how to get paid by what it is that they love to do. And I think this is a time period where a lot of people are rediscovering what they love, who they are, and really developing into the people that they were supposed to be instead of what they were programmed to be. And I feel that's really good. And I feel a lot of people should start looking into their interests more, should start exploring their talents more, should start, making time to feel, relaxed and comfortable more than they have. And I think this is a lot to do with, creating that ambiance, that space, that mood, the smell, the taste, the escape, which is the reading or the knowledge or learning things. Because learning is also an escape because it's like you're opening up a whole nother world of something that you knew nothing about before. And it leads to more. And if you feel like you're like living a life that doesn't really go anywhere, learning continuously, exploring your talents and skills definitely keeps your life feeling new. So if y'all feel like y'all are stuck in a rut or anything, definitely read more. It's an escape. It's the first form of virtual reality because you actually have to imagine and picture, what's going on in your mind and, pairing it with other stuff like, candles, tea, comfort, music takes you on that 5D or 4D journey as well. So y'all remember that. A movie is great, but at the same time, you're unable to form as much and create as much when it's already been created. So it's like reading is definitely a way to exercise your imagination in order to create and manifest. Like if you really think about it, a lot of people that read are really good at manifesting because they see wording, they see how things are described, they're able to create the image in their minds, and they're patient because reading takes a little bit of patience. And so it's very, it's a very good tool if you're trying to, improve your manifesting skills. All right. You're getting these books, girl. Get them. I might add. This one is mine. This is not a library book. Like the books that I really have to have, I will go buy, or I'll order them on Amazon. I got this one on Amazon. Um, I check out stuff in the library to see if I really want it, if I have the time. I'm getting this one definitely, the Atlas of Perfumed Botany by Jean-Claude Elena. I'm gonna go and buy this on Amazon very soon. Um, I'm probably gonna get this Pamela Coleman Smith book too, because it's a really good coffee table book. And there's so much beautiful artwork in there. And I love, her style of drawing. She drew the Rider Waite tarot cards, but she was a Jamaican. Um, she lived in England, but she's from Jamaica. So she had a lot of her, artwork and stories that also stem from Jamaica. And there's a lot of handwritten letters from her, or to and from her correspondence and people that she worked with as well. If y'all like memorabilia, y'all can see her artwork looks familiar because the Rider Waite tarot are her drawings. So definitely adding this one to my wish list. And if I, I'm send it send it out to whoever want to, send it to me. Um, but then y'all get my book too. All right. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Y'all like my wig too? Yes, I do have a link for this wig. I just actually did a video on the wig. And so, but if y'all just like this wig, hurry wrong. Oh wait, you know what? I'll just link you to the website where I got it. And I'll link it below as well. But it's the mocha brown. Just type in mocha brown highlight and it she'll pop up for you. Thank you, girl. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah, if y'all like this, y'all go to the Shira 7 channel, and I just actually did a review with all the good details. Thank you. What is a good book on quantum physics? Quantum Physics in 5 Minutes. It's also in that link at the very top. You just have to probably scroll all the way down so you get to it. But quantum physics in 5 minutes is very easily explained with pictures, and I think it explains each theory in 2 pages or less, and it's a small book. So that's a really good one to read. Definitely think if you're not familiar with scientific terms, it also reads in layman's terms. And if y'all, oh, Grace, sprinkle, sprinkle. Just saying hi to y'all. Thank you, sprinkle, sprinkle. I appreciate y'all. I also have. Okay, so what I've been doing a lot lately, I've been getting ready for the holidays. And if your address is on the Patreon, I will be sending you a holiday card. I don't know which holiday. It's going to be either Halloween, Thanksgiving, or like around Christmas or Yule. But if y'all want to join the Patreon, definitely sign up and make sure you have your address in there. Or if you're already on the Patreon, sign up, like update your address. And I've been mailing out a lot of letters lately. If you are signed up to the tier where you receive monthly mail from me, I literally write you letters and decorate the envelopes like all cute. It's like you're my pen pal. And I send it out every month to those who are signed up to the mail out tier. It's there's different tiers to sign up on the Patreon. And so we do weekly journaling, not monthly. Every week I put a journal prompt out. And then I post things and I kind of decode things, or I ask you questions, or there's polls on there. It just, it supports everything that I do. And then there's a tier where if you sign up every month, I mail you something, a letter, a card, and you can also message me on the Patreon and ask me questions and things like that if you are a member. And I do try to respond within that week. So if you like receiving snail mail, definitely sign up for that tier and get you a couple of letters. You can switch tiers as many times as you want. So like if you just want one letter from me, sign up for the mailing tier, and then the next month you can sign up for a different tier that is less expensive and doesn't receive the mail. But definitely I suggest if you want me to send you something, that's a way to get it. Also, you can write me back if you want to send me a letter back. I'll definitely have my return, box on there so y'all can mail me back. Okay. But definitely, you said you'll put it on your tree. I'm already starting to write some of them out. So I have my list, and I'm gonna double check tomorrow and update it in case I have some new people signing up. And I'll definitely mail y'all out something nice, a card or something. And it's all handwritten. And I'm trying to write neater with my little uh, quill and ink dip, so it's all fancy and stuff. I do write in cursive, so if you can't read cursive, I'm sorry. I write in cursive. So hopefully some of y'all can read cursive. If you can't read cursive, let me know in the messages if you have problems reading cursive, and I'll try to write your letter in print. So, but my handwriting is much better in cursive, just so y'all know. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Just type in HD Mocha Brown highlight for the wig name. I think that's the name of it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Do you have any questions, or do y'all want to ask me anything specifically? Oh, thank y'all for hitting the like button. Hit that like button, y'all. I'm probably gonna, because I've been um, cleaning up my office and putting all my books on the bookshelf, tidying up, dusting, getting ready for um, the holidays early. Uh, I kind of wanted to make my office upstairs more of a study and library or study office. And then I have my spiritual stuff up there as well. So I have a lot of stuff going on in that office, but it's huge. So I'm lucky that I have a giant office. It's literally an upstairs master bedroom. So, well, a little bit smaller, but it's literally huge, and it has like beautiful windows, and like there's like an altar that's built on the window, like a shelf that's built, like a tiered altar on the window, like that was built like that when the house was built. I have a huge closet in there, and um, which I really need to clean out. A bathroom with a shower and everything, and that's where I keep my cat's litter box. And then like a whole other area for like a giant reclining chair, and then I have a china cabinet up there with all my stuff in it, like candles, books, and all. And then I have a writing desk, and it's kind of antique and old school. It's like an old news writer's desk, and I have like all my quills and inks and stamps up there. Then I have the area where I like to film my YouTube videos up there, and that's kind of like in the middle. And so my office is pretty big. So I've been trying to clean it up and organize it and put. I had a lot of books on the floor, and so I made room and put them on shelves and things like that. And so I did that all yesterday. I was so busy. I was meaning to go live earlier yesterday, but when you start doing a project, it really like takes hold of you. Now I have to go organize a couple of drawers in my desk upstairs. I have 3 desks, y'all. Um, 3 desks. It's like I have a desk for my business where I do all my level up cosmetics and mail outs for things like that. Then I have this desk in my bedroom. It's more like a vanity and a desk where I do a lot of my crafting, painting, and things like that. And then I have my desk upstairs, and it's more of an antique vintage style, and that's where I do a lot of my studying, or reading, or writing in calligraphy, or you know writing with my quill and ink. I also have some of that downstairs too, but I keep most of that upstairs because it matches that vintage antique look. I have 3 desks. Oh, Dreadhead Beauty Sprinkle Sprinkle, welcome to being a member. I appreciate you. Um, So one of my desks are really girly. It's like all pink. I have a little pink keyboard, little pink mouse. And y'all probably get to see it in my upcoming one of my upcoming vlogs because I did do it before and after because I had to clean that up too. And this desk in here is white and it has like a glass on the top. And I use this one for painting because if you get paint on glass, it just wipes right off. And this has like a glass overlay. So I paint on this desk. And also I have a big giant mirror with lights on it. So I can also use this for vanity. But I usually do that in my master bathroom because it has a big huge vanity area. So this is more of my writing, um, watercolor, stationary type desk where I do all my crafting. So I don't know how many people have more than one desk. Can I show my transformation of the upstairs library? Would be willing to sell some of your items. You mean like books? No, I'm keeping all my books. If I sell anything, it's gonna be like stuff that I don't want, but it's not gonna be any books because I'm keeping all my books. Yeah. But if I find some stuff that I want to sell, I might put it on my Poshmark. He said, "There's no way I'm selling my books." I have a lot of tarot cards, books, journals. I keep all my journals and my planners because I like to look back and look at them and see what I was doing. Sometimes my planners also act as journals. If I don't journal that day, I can see what I was doing on my planner. You've been following me since you were 16. Wow, you're 22 now and still listening to you. Oh, Christina or Christine, Christian. Okay, Christian. Sorry. You know what? I need this. There you go. That's it. So thank you so much for following me. That's a long time. I halfway raised you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. It's like I halfway raised you. That's a joke. Okay. You just restarted your manifestation journal. Good. You said I don't think I believe in minimalism. A sprinkle, sprinkle. I don't think I could ever believe in minimalism because like it's too minimal. I'm too complex to believe in minimalism. Okay. Like I would get too bored. I'll have to leave the house and go where there's a bunch of stuff at. And then I would end up bringing it home. To me, okay, no offense to people that are minimalists, but to me, if I go over someone's house and it's minimalist, I start feeling like, okay, you don't know how to decorate, or you're blah and have no personality, or um, you're broke and can't afford it, or you have OCD, or you're a clean freak, and we ain't gonna get along anyway. That's what I think when I go over people's house or see minimalists like with the least stuff. But the funny thing is, and this is the funny thing, a lot of people that became minimalists had too much junk and they got rid of it. And then you go back to their house like 2 years later and they got stuff everywhere again. So, literally, a lot of times people who are minimalist are just going through a phase. And you go back to their house in about 5 years and they'll have more stuff. So, you said clutter is no good. I'm a Pisces, though. Y'all have to understand. Pisces don't we don't care about little clutter. Our clutter is actually organized. Like we have organized clutter. We know where everything is. That's how like our memory is so good because we know where everything is in our organized clutter. So it's kind of like in an in a chaotic world, we know exactly what we're doing. In a chaotic place, we know exactly where to go because of this is how, a lot of our environment is because we know. You say organized chaos. Exactly. You say your husband is a Pisces, and this is so true. Yes, it is. Like I know exactly where everything is. Ask me where something is, I'll tell you. My kids love it because when they lose something, I know exactly where it is, even though I didn't even use it. But like we're very observant as well. So if I see my child running around with something in their hand, I'll see where they leave it, forget it, and go do something else. And 2 days later or 3 days later, they'll ask me if I've seen their such and such, and I'm like, you left it on the table in the dining room 2 days ago when I told you to go do your laundry, and they will have been looking for it for like hours. And they're like, "How did you know that?" I said, "How did you see me leave it there?" Because I don't remember. I said, "Because I see everything." So it might also be a woman thing too, yes, but definitely more so like it help. I was saying having organized chaos helps you to remember where things are easily because you see it like I see it in my mind. hmm So I see it in my mind a lot. I remember things. I have like sometimes like with certain things I have photographic memory. Where do you get to read all these books? What's your motivation? When and where do you I read like I have so much free time in between the time that I'm busy. So I take a book with me and if I'm waiting in the car to pick up my kids from school, I'll read some from that book. If I'm sitting each desk has a different book at it. So if I'm sitting at this desk, whatever book is the closest to me or the one that I'm reading and taking notes from, that's the one I'm reading. A book on my nightstand that I read while I'm in the bed. I might put a book in the parlor where I go to relax. There's lots of books in my office. So wherever I am, there's a different book. I will pick it up and read it while I'm sitting there or while I'm in that area. Um, or there's audiobooks. You can listen to audiobooks online or whatever if you're driving, you don't have the time to read a physical book. So I might spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes on one book and switch out to a different book. And it's not like I'm reading like stories, and some of them are stories, but a lot of them, some of them can be short stories, so you're not going to get it mixed up with anything else. Reading books with different time periods also help you not to mix stuff up. So, for example, if you're going to be reading more than one book, read a book from one era, and if you're going to read another fiction book, read it from like a modern era, so that you will never mix it up. So, if you're reading a book about something that happened like 200 years ago, or that's set in that time era, you're not going to mix it up with a book that's modern. So that's a good way to be able to read more than one book if you like fiction. I like to mix it up with like biographies, art books, instructional books or informational books, and then like one or two fiction books. So I don't get it mixed up. It's like just same thing as watching shows on Netflix. You don't get it mixed up. Mhm. And like on the weekend, I don't know how many of y'all are in the habit of doing this. When I wake up, I grab my phone, my Kindle, a book, a notebook, and a pen, and I go sit on the couch in the living room. I get my coffee or my tea or whatever I'm in the mood for, and I start reading and taking notes. And then I'll pause if I like, because sometimes I get inspired by what I'm reading, and then I'll pause and I'll check my social media, and then or I'll post something on there, that I was inspired to post, and then I'll get my Kindle out and I'll read something on there, or I'll go to my Amazon link and look through the stuff, or go to my Goodreads and update on my Goodreads, um, or I'll buy a book that I want to buy or whatever, and then or I'll go shopping online, and then I put that down and I go back to my book and finish reading some of it, and I'll watch something on TV if I get bored. But before you know it, you know, you'll have read, learned while all enjoying your weekend. And then you get up and go do your normal activities. But that's what I do when I get up in the morning. He said, to me, minimalistic is not holding on to stuff you do use or need, or you don't use or need. You can still decorate and have fun in your house, and you need to. I love simple. Okay, yeah. That I don't know. I guess I just like holding on to stuff because it feels like a lot of the stuff I make, or it's also how you find the stuff. You know, there's a story behind a lot of things. Like for example, I like antiques. I like old stuff. I like unique pieces. So if I buy something thrifted or from an antique shop, I can't just not hold on to it because first of all, it's worth more than what I paid for it. Second of all, it's a piece of history or it's antique. And I've actually given away stuff before that is now super valuable. So I will give away the cheap stuff before I give away anything like vintage or um, like when I go through my closet. 'Cause every time I buy something, I do get rid of stuff. Like I'll go through my closet and get rid of stuff that I haven't worn, and but never the vintage or never the designer stuff that I found thrifting. Always the quick, fast fashion or the cheap stuff that I will give away. I will never give away the vintage or the antique. So once you start collecting vintage or antique things, you know, yeah, get rid of the cheap stuff, but keep hold on to the good stuff. hmm Do I read 50 pages a day? I probably read and write. Yeah, probably that or more. I write a lot too. I take a lot of notes when I read books because that way I know what I'm really learning. Yeah, I don't hold on to stuff in case I need it for the future. I hold on to stuff for, um, you know, because I don't plan, like, I plan on doing something else, like, totally. And, like, I've taken stuff from my room and taken it up to my office or my parlor and totally use that to decorate in there. So, and plus a lot of the antiques and things, if you want to give a piece of that to someone else as a gift. Anything vintage or antique, you can also regift. So that's a good idea. Mhm. Mhm. I don't put stuff in the attic. I don't even go up in that attic. hmm Do you include James at all? Just curious. J- I feel like people have different interests, and they should be, um, you know, doing their own interests. I don't think James is interested in a lot of the stuff that I am. So I don't really include him because he wouldn't be interested. Okay. Like it would be like him asking me to watch football with him. And I don't like watching sports. So I wouldn't. I'd be on my phone or reading a book, but I wouldn't be interested. hmm Yeah, I enjoy my stuff. I don't like people. There's some also like a lot of people talk about people that have, clutter and stuff. To me, it's comfort. Like to me, it's comfortable. If you can sit in an environment with clutter and you can sit in an environment with lots of stuff around you and not feel anxious, it's because you're comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Or you're not bothered by a lot. I stay unbothered about a lot of stuff. Now, if it's filthy, that's a different thing. Cluttered and filthy is two different things. If you got stuff crawling on there, if there's smells coming from places unidentified, that's a different story. But just having cute clutter or a maximalist style is a little bit different. Okay. Yeah, I don't keep nothing in storage. Only the stuff that my house can hold, and then I try to give stuff away every time I buy new stuff. I'll put stuff in a bag and give away. Mhm. So you find your husband isn't interested in that type of stuff either. Yeah, I think, you know, maybe a lot of people have different interests. So that's why it's important to enjoy your interests and don't think about including. For example, I don't know why people always want to drag someone else into their personal interest. That's for you. That's your gift. That's your time to spend with yourself, getting to know. You're not really getting the full effect of your true interest. It's nice to have someone to do things with, but when you're reading, studying, um, drawing, painting, you don't need someone all with you, distracting you from being your best self. You said almost all witches are maximalists. True. That is true. I've seen like a lot of people, and they've done like these YouTube, tours of their little room or area that they work in, and it is literally a maximalist's home. So like, but we always have everything, even in my purse. I have like what you need. I got it. You need some lotion. You need some tissue. You need some hand sanitizer. You need a hair clip. You need some lipstick. You need some extra earrings. You need some tea. Got a tea bag. Everything. You said opposites attract. Yep. Some herbs. Hee hee. Crystals, stones. I got right. We were perfectly fine doing during lockdown. Exactly. We didn't need nothing. We already had everything. Right. That's so true. I have everything we need. The electricity got turned off during, the storm or the freeze or whatever. I had tons of candles. I had, we had candles for days. Yeah. We had stuff to do. We had board games. We were, we were drawing. I had color books, like, adult coloring books with all the, we had cards. Like, we entertained ourselves with all the stuff that I had. I had on those old school radios that like turn. We had music. We had updates and news still. I had tons of batteries. I was good. I was prepared. I had so much candles. I could still like write out letters and stuff to people. I was at my desk like it was the Victorian era, like before electricity was invented, just pretending I was still living. Um, we had fire in the fireplace, and we were all gathered around in our blankets and pajamas and playing board games and things like that. I mean, and it was cozy. I think it's times like that where, you're glad you have a little extra. And like sometimes people need to borrow stuff. Like they don't have, and you can always be able to, you know, help someone else out, and you got a little extra. Um, and it's also, I don't know if it's just a Southern thing because I live in the South, and it's a Southern thing. A lot of people collect antiques and have, you know, a lot of stuff that their moms give them, that their grandmas gave them, and stuff handed down. Mhm. Um, do you feel we are in a movie like Free Guy just seen they have fake buildings? I feel like if you have main character energy, that's what I call it. If you have main character energy, you may not feel like you're in a movie, but like you're the main character of your life. If you feel like you're in a movie, I would suggest focusing more on yourself and doing things that you really like to do so that you don't have to think about if you're in a movie or not. You just live the life and create the life that you actually want. Because I think we get distracted by also thinking like, okay, this is a holographic universe and we live in a movie and everything is like, so and then make it what you want. I mean, you got to be here anyway. If you found out tomorrow that everything was fake in a movie, would it change how you lived your life, or would you just make it greater? You know, that's how I feel. Like we're focusing on the things that we're not going to be able to do anything about. Let's focus on what we can change. Which, you know, have that main character energy. Do exactly what you want to do every day. Live each day as you choose and like. That's the type of movie I would like to live in. So definitely make sure that if you do feel like you're living in a movie, at least be the main character. Because it wouldn't be anything worse than living in a movie where you're not the main character. Okay. But you know what? I do have something positive to say about minimalists. They know how to clean up. Y'all know how to keep it clean, keep it simple. Y'all are very organized. And it is a skill that I think a lot of people, especially people who do have a lot of stuff, can actually benefit from. Like I started off as a minimalist, but then it grew. I really didn't start off as a minimalist. I just started out with less and then I got more. Hmm. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said you're working towards. So, what do they call between a maximalist and a minimalist? A regularist? A regularist? That's funny. Hmm. A regularist. A normalist. I don't know what you call it. There are certain things that I love and I keep buying more of, but I have a good excuse. Coffee mugs. I can buy a coffee mug every time I go to the store, which I try not to. Like I tell my daughter, don't let me buy any more mugs. But when she's not with me, or if I see one that I just have to have, I'll say, well, um, James is gonna break one anyway, so I might as well go get another one. Because sometimes he drops them, or like if they're in the sink, he'll chip it really bad. Like because we have like that granite island, and he'll like accidentally hit it against the sink, or he'll drop it, or whatever. So I was like, he gonna break it anyway. I'm gonna get me another one. Yeah, it's my way of influence. It's my way of thinking influenced more from all the esoteric books I read or from life experience. Both. It's kind of like sometimes you read a book and you've already experienced what the author has written about. and it's mostly just confirmation. Some of it I haven't experienced, some of it I have, some of it like I've been reading esoteric books since I was like in 5th grade. So it's because a lot of strange things happen to me, which a lot of it is just confirmation and comforting that other people are actually experiencing similar things as well. So it's like, you know, if you grew up in a household where you were the only one who kind of studied these types of things, no one could give you answers. So you had to go and search for your own answers. This is exactly why I started reading a lot of these books because no one could give me my answers. And especially the people that you look up to learn from, if they can't give you answers, you have to go find them yourself. So that's one of the reasons why I started reading so many esoteric books from a young age because nobody could tell me what I needed to know. And it made me feel less alone and more understood. Okay. Do you feel, how do I feel about listening to subliminals to get help in your life trying to move? I feel like whatever you feel like you need, go do it. If you feel like you need something, then why deny yourself something that you feel like you need? Okay. So make sure you're just doing, like, don't do things just because people tell you to. Do things because you want to do it and you feel like doing it. That's another thing. Like, I always follow the beat of my own drum. And if someone suggests something to me and I like it, I might experience it or try it out. But if I don't and everyone's doing it, I don't care. If it doesn't sit well with me, I'm not gonna hop on board. So a lot of times people think that they're doing something wrong or they're doing something incorrect or they're not learning from the right book. Whatever it is that you're doing, you're in the right spot. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. There's no need to worry about it. People spend too much time worrying about if they're doing something correct. And this is also another thing, like when you work for other people, you fear that you're going to mess up. You fear losing a job. You fear disappointment from your boss. You fear all this. But when you don't work for people, there's a certain freedom that comes with everything. Like, I'm going to do what I want. I don't have that lingering anxiety of having to please anyone but me. And that opens you up to a lot more when it comes to how you choose to live. So that's another thing. Like, I don't care if I do something wrong. If I do something wrong, then great. I have no one to answer to. Then if the only thing I can do is learn how to do it better. That's the only thing that comes from it, how to do it better. How do I know if I'm learning a life lesson? Every day I'm learning, and each day makes up a part of my life. So every day I'm learning and reading and creating and researching. So, you know, I don't look for life lessons. I don't look for them. You know, I get up each day and do what I do, and I continue to learn and create and be the main character of my life and live the life that I want. Like a lot of people, let's say you make a mistake and you say, okay, I learned a life lesson. Great. I learn a life lesson every day when I read, when I research, when I do different things, when I talk to people. And it may not be a negative thing or a positive thing, but a lot of things are lessons. So I don't feel like we should go around looking for life lessons. I don't feel like we should go around, afraid to make mistakes and then, you know, looking out to see if we have learned our lesson. I'm not going to I'm not gonna live my life like that. That's a weird way to live, you know. Um, it's a weird way to live, and I feel like living your best life definitely does not allow you to sit there and feel like, is this the life lesson I'm supposed to learn? If you learned it, great. Move on, learn something new. There's so many lessons that you can teach yourself just by researching and knowing more things. You said your life lesson is, oh, Marcus, you're so silly. Abraham Hicks said you can't go wrong because you'll never get it done. uh, why do some people think being spiritual means you're practicing witchcraft? Because you're not brainwashed by religion. Sprinkle, sprinkle. A lot of if you're not brainwashed by religion, people think you're doing witchcraft because you have a certain power and freedom, and things come too easily to you, or you're not on the straight and narrow path of strict religion that is full of ways to make you feel guilty or incompetent. Like, first of all, I'm not getting ready to believe in nothing that makes you feel guilty or incompetent, so throw that out. All right, start over. So yeah, that's how I feel about, like, if I say I'm spiritual and people think I'm doing witchcraft, oh well, let them think, because I probably am. You know, if someone if someone thinks that I'm doing, I don't care. Let them think it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what they think. If they want to join in, let them join in. If they have questions, they're going to be asking you. If they're there to judge, I don't care because they're not my judge, right? Or they think you're living in fear, but you're actually being true to yourself. Exactly. If anyone has anything to say about the spirituality you choose to practice, whether it's witchcraft or just meditating or whatever you be doing, tell them to mind their own business or hand them a stack of your bills. Okay? It's as simple as that. Why they are thinking and judging, think and judge on Cash App. Exactly. Only religious people have that idea of spiritual people. Exactly. So if you're a spiritual person and you are talking to a religious person and you start to suddenly feel judged, walk away mid conversation. Just keep walking. Act like you don't care. That really bugs them the most when they can't, quote unquote, direct you or save you. That you really want to mess with somebody religious, just walk away mid sentence when they're speaking to you. Where are you going? I gotta go buy my witchcraft supplies. That reminded me. I need some mugwort. Your husband recently got a really high paying position since I have been manifesting. You taught me so much. Thank you. Oh, good for him. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm glad. It's going to be a good holiday season for you, girl. Mm-hmm. Said happy Halloween and Samhain. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Well, I'm glad. Okay. So I remember, I don't know, y'all know Mama D. She came for a visit and she was telling me on her way here to Houston that there was like these religious people and they were trying to like tell her their testimony or like their story and how like because they were like with this church or whatever. And she didn't want to hear all that. And she was like, okay, that's nice, but I don't need to hear your whole life story. And then, the lady got mad because she's like, oh, okay, so you don't want to hear about the Lord, and I see you know everything. And she's like, no, I just don't want to hear, because the lady was like saying that she had gone through a lot and done some bad things. It's like, I don't want to hear all your story. Like, I don't care. Well, I'm glad you're good now. But, sometimes religion allows some people to let go of their past in order to move on. So let's say you were, doing the worst of the worst, and then all of a sudden you got quote unquote saved. It allows you to let the past be the past, because a lot of religion teaches, past forgiveness and being reborn and all that kind of stuff. But if you don't regret what you've done in your past, there's nothing really religion can offer you in that aspect. So sometimes this is why they have like a lot of programs that reach out to addicts or people that have been in uh, criminal activities and things like that, because the only way that they can feel like they can really move forward with a fresh new start is to be reborn, and in a religion, and the past is forgiven. And a lot of people don't have uh, family that supports them, or were raised with very caring parents that may have turned to a bad life, and they feel like this deity or this god is like their appointed parent or whatnot. So they feel loved because people are telling them, oh, someone loves you, someone loves you, it's okay, you're forgiven. So really what they're doing is telling them that they forgive themselves. You love yourself, you forgive yourself, you can let go of that past, da, 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 da. And so that's why religion is popular, because a lot of people have problems with letting go of the past, letting go of guilt, and having a way to have a fresh start. And so I feel like if you're unable to do that on your own, and religion can help you, especially if you are coming out of some type of, bad place, then by all means, that's what you need. It's more psychological than anything. Okay. Religion is nothing more than psychology wrapped up to give you what you need at the time that you need. If you already know all of this, it can't really help you because you know too much. So you already helped yourself by knowing that it is psychology, and that if you know alchemy or the universal law and transmutation and all that kind of stuff, the kind of stuff that they don't really teach you in religion, but different ways to look at things definitely help you move past things without becoming a victim of brainwashing and servitude. um, Definitely can help you get past a lot of things. Yes, but he says good for a start point. Well, I've talked to pastors and I've looked them straight in the eye, and I say I know everything that you're saying, and is not literal to be taken literal. I know it mostly is metaphor, and um, a lot of those pastors or preachers are definitely in secret societies, and they all know this, but they continue to use the knowledge to get that building fund. They pass that collection plate, live tax free on the church. But a lot of them are in secret, fraternities, societies, or they know about the truth and how things really work. But their job is to preach. Their job is to keep this church. Their job is to collect your tithes and offerings. Their job is to keep religion alive. But they go and do total opposite of whatever it is they're teaching you to do. And a lot of them are driving nicer cars, living in way better houses, while their congregations live below poverty level, or some of the congregations do, they get a little something, something, a little money. But at the same time, these pastors, they're not, they really don't believe everything they're saying. They know it's not literal. But the longer you don't know that, the longer you think that they know more than you and are, helping you get to the next level, the more they collect from you, or the more, followers they gather. So they're going to keep doing it because that's what it is. But they know the truth. They know. And when you figure it out, you graduate from that. You graduate from that. They're just a teacher. It's just like you go to kindergarten and your kindergarten teacher is teaching you, you know, numbers, colors, math, simple math, and things like that. They already know advanced versions of whatever it is you're learning. And but they can't tell you that because you wouldn't understand it until you got to the next level. So in the first grade, you're going to know a little bit more than your kindergarten teacher taught you. And you're not going to go back to your kindergarten teacher and say, "Why didn't you tell me about this, and that?" Because in the first grade, that's what they're doing. Well, it's not my job to tell you what is going on in the first grade. My job is to teach you kindergarten. Yes, I work for the school board. Yes, I'm part of the education system, but you weren't ready to learn that. And some people like kindergarten so much, they never graduate. They never move on to the first grade. You know, they just keep going back to kindergarten because you get to take naps. It's fun. you get the you get the watercolor and finger paint and do the most simple things. So that's kind of what I see religion as. There are people that study religion and break apart the metaphor and break apart the meaning of it and decode the meaning of it. And those people are moving into the esoteric and the occult. So you can still claim to be a religion as long as you can decode it, pick it apart, know what's metaphor, what's not literal, and you're not, you know, sitting here believing in Santa Claus. But knowing the metaphor behind certain things. Hmm. True, that was the point for religion to initiate you, not for you to be there all the time. Exactly. Because, like, once you realize what something is, it can no longer really give you more. You need to do your own reading and research, because, like, going to church every Sunday and hearing somebody talk about this, and that, and not even really reading from the religious text most of the time is a waste of time. It's just a show, a performance, and a way to get your tithes and offerings. So, and a way to meet women for a lot of, and a way for a lot of women they meet their new sugar daddy pastor. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. All right, exactly. Okay. Spending more time alone, leveling up, and getting your business ideas. All right, I'm sure that they're going to come. You have my elixirs. It will definitely help with the ideas and the motivation. Y'all need to get my elixirs too. Okay. Start on phase one. I've been doing a lot of customer service this morning because I know a lot of y'all have been ordering them. And I did write y'all back on Etsy if y'all have written me. Um, so uh, definitely check those updates. And everything has been taken care of. Y'all start with phase one. It's called Ashira's Golden Elixir. And then phase two is called Ashira's Master Elixir. And it's just a phase two is like the blue square with just the label on it. And then all the other pictures have bottles on it. Um, and it just read the description and it'll tell you. And it does come with instructions. And let me give y'all a coupon code. If y'all buy more than one bottle of something, um, Saves 2 will give you free shipping, or Ships 2. I made both of them codes since I said both of them, so either one will give you free shipping um, if you order more than one bottle. Some people order 1 and 2 together so they can just save on the shipping. Uh-oh, Wonder Woman babe, sprinkle, sprinkle. Uh-oh, money, sprinkle, sprinkle, girl. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate you. Um, can you skip a phase? It's supposed to go in order. And I know a lot of people ask questions about certain things. This is an alchemy created by an alchemist to raise your frequency and awareness levels at a time. And so it's not like a vitamin. It's like a amount of certain things and minerals that we get are not used to getting anymore because we don't drink and eat more from the earth anymore. And there's just different levels of stuff in it that needs to gradually get to a certain point. And I believe like skipping is definitely like this is like a problem that a lot of modern society has. We want a quick fix to something. We want to get somewhere fast and quick and easy. And that is the exact opposite of the great work or alchemy. So what you want to do is take them steps. It's like take the steps. They're very necessary and subtle, yet you're building something. You're building the best version or a better or a more improved version of yourself. So you need not to skip steps. Okay. If you can skip days, you're fine because it's still in your system. You know, don't skip too many. Mhm. When do I find all the time to read books? I have 2 bookshelves full of books. I read, I tell you, I put a book in every room. And when I'm in that room, I be reading it. Find it on audiobook, or listen to it in your car. Put one in your office. Put one in your next to your bedroom. Put one on your desk. Put one in your car to read while you're waiting. Put one in your purse. If you ever go somewhere and you need to wait on something instead of being on your phone, read your book or read the book online. Um, Read it in the in between times. You know, you have like a day off or the weekend. Maybe spend hours reading, catching up on your reading instead of watching TV sometimes. How do you become a faster reader? Read more. Um, Enjoy the book. You know, another thing about reading is people want to get through it so fast. I find that when I start to come to an end of the book, I get a little bit sad because it's like, oh, it's almost over. No, I want the story to go on, or I want this book to go. I want to learn more, which leads you to your next book. So there's no rush. You don't have to read as many books as the next person. If you read 1 book a year, that's still good. You know what I'm saying? If you read 5 books a year, that's great. If you read 10 books a year, that's even better. But you don't have to, as long as you're continuously learning something. It doesn't matter how fast you're going or how much you're reading, as long as you're continuing, you know, reading something. I've bought books for people that don't read, and I'll end up just taking the book back and reading it myself. You know what I'm saying? It's like future note to future self: do not buy this person a book. So I've bought books for people that were sealed and found them given away or in a box to give away, still sealed. So sometimes books don't make the best gifts for people that don't read. Um, So save those books for people that read or give them away or sell them to a used bookshop or sell them on Amazon. A lot of people are doing that. I think someone said it in the comments, but I'm not sure. They go to all these thrift stores and they look through the book section, and then they go see what is popular or what's selling a lot on Amazon, and they list it as a used book, and they ship it to Amazon. And Amazon drop ships the used books for them. So a lot of people are getting paid on selling used books on Amazon just by going to the thrift store and just picking up random books and searching the titles on Amazon. And if they're in pretty good condition, they just ship them off to Amazon and let Amazon sell them to people. Because they're calling it, what is it called? Ethic resourcing now? Ethical resourcing. When you buy used stuff. I don't know. Back then, it was called broke or thrifting or buying used items. Now it's called ethically resourcing. You see how the language gets more fancy the more trendy something gets? I remember like years ago when I would do my thrift hauls or buy used books, people would turn their nose up and like, ew, I can't buy thrift. Ew, I can't buy anything used. Now they're calling it sustainable economic, you know, making up some fancy words for basically doing the same thing. Like shit, look, you just shop used, you just shop thrift, okay? I'm economically resourcing. Whatever. Like, I think it's great that people are doing that, but those probably were the same people that were making fun of people that shopped at thrift and used years ago. So, all right. You said check eBay for the prices. Right. I bought two thrifted books yesterday. I bought Sherlock Holmes and I bought Dan Brown's Inferno, like big, thick hardcover books for like $1. If I wanted to, like if I was looking for a business or some way to make money, I could actually go to a used bookstore or to Amazon and list it and send it out, and however much they're charging for that book on Amazon used, I could make it. And I only spent $1. So that book is on Amazon for like, let me see how much that book is on Amazon for. Let me see how much the used version is going for. See how much I could have made. Okay. And I have the hardcover too. Sure. The hardcover goes for used, it goes for $30. I can make $30 and I only spent $1. Y'all looking to get some money and start a business? Y'all need to hit them thrift shops up. So let me see my Sherlock Holmes book. How much that's worth? 'Cause I only paid $1 for that. I don't know what there's like. Sorry about the typing noise. Trying to see. Here it is. Something like this. $60 hardcover. $21, $60. Okay. $1 spent. $2 spent. I can make over $100 on those two books. So they're upstairs on my bookshelf. You can also grow your library that way and collect books if you thrift shop. Look for hardcovers. Um, you say, girl, sell that, but I'm keeping it. It'll be worth more in the future. My kids can sell them if they don't want them. You don't think print is that profitable anymore? It is. Print is coming back, darling. That's why the book prices are so expensive. People collect hardcover books because a lot of people are building libraries in their homes now. Like people, okay, so y'all know how a lot of people move to Texas from like different states because we have a lot of land. They can get bigger houses, more rooms. The whole dark academia aesthetic is happening. People are buying books left and right. There's used bookstores. People are drop shipping used books on Amazon because people like books. Um, a lot of the times, looking at and no shade against you know reading books online or audiobooks, but a lot of people don't like looking at that blue light or that screen all day reading a book. The feel and the smell of a book is more comforting to a lot of people. I know some people look at books as collecting. So a lot of people collect books. They have beautiful covers. Some have beautiful artwork. Some are signed by the authors. So I really don't think that print is going anywhere. I really feel like they tried, but it didn't work out because so many people are buying and trading and selling more books now than ever. Oh, God, it's wild red, sprinkle, sprinkle. I notice the more money I spend with you, the more money flows right back to me. Thanks, your rich husband and his fat wallet is coming soon. Okay, yeah, you're right. Sprinkle, sprinkle, get your money, girl. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, wow, this candle smells so good. I keep sniffing it. It's like it smells like books. The smell, you can't get the smell of a book unless you buy a candle um, from reading online or listening to audiobook. So yeah, I feel like for some people who don't like books, you know, you have another option to not have to buy books and keep them in your house. But some people really love books. Like I write books, I create books, so I'm a book lover. I like to hold a book in my hand. That's why I spend a lot of effort and energy into like the books that I create for readers. And they have coffee table books, which are now like conversation pieces. There's art books, and so a lot of people um, like also decorate with books, and also like there's nothing good. And there's nothing better than functional decoration. You pick up a book, you turn to a certain page, you read something, you're inspired. You could see a picture, smell that book smell. You can also give them as gifts and things like that. And when you're done with them, you can give them away to someone else, give them a new home. Um, you said the cost of materials is lowering the profit margins. Well, then hike the price up. If people like what you wrote, they're gonna buy it. Okay, how much people spend on getting their nails done and eyelashes done and wigs and hair. You gotta have something to go on the head and in the head. Okay. What use is walking around? Look, I'm gonna make fun of myself. What use is walking around with a wig on, lashes on, makeup on if ain't nothing on the inside? Nothing on the inside, nothing on the brain. Just I'd rather buy a book um, than them giant long nails that you have to figure out how to wipe your butt with. Y'all know them nails? Like y'all see them on Instagram? There. When you're circulating money, it comes back. Yeah, and those books will be worth more in the future. So, like for example, you buy an expensive book. Y'all, I'm so mad. It could be somewhere, but I went to this old bookstore. They didn't know what they had. Sometimes people don't know the value of the books either. I bought a book that was out of print and for $15, no, $30. And it ended up being worth $600 a book because it was out of print. So books are treasures, literally and figuratively. What's my favorite book of all time? I don't know. I have so many favorite books. Hmm. I can't pick one because I have too many. There are books that I've read multiple times over and over. There are books that are more worn because they were books that I was learning from or trying to, decode or whatnot. So there are books that have a lot of more wear and tear, have a lot more wear and tear. Uh, yeah. What are y'all's favorite books? Your favorite book from childhood was Berenstain Bears, girl. Mine was Berenstain Bears. We must be from the alternate universe. Who knew Berenstain versus Berenstain? Which one was your fave? You said, "Oops, Mandela effect." So who knew Berenstain? Okay. What's my favorite genre? All. I like them all. I, I used to say my favorite genre was mystery or horror, but then I started reading more genres, and I just like them all. If they're a good writer, they're a good writer. If the person is a good writer, they can tell a story. Right. Do I invest in paintings on average? They appreciate a lot more than real estate and stocks. Um, I paint my own stuff, or I have a few pieces of like art, but I paint my own stuff. Or if I see a painting in a thrift shop and it's like you can tell it's real, I might buy it. But I haven't really invested a lot in art, so to say, because um, I haven't really developed a full appreciation for buying people's artwork yet. Maybe when I'm a little bit older. And I want to spend a lot of money on something I can do myself. you know, I think art is often misunderstood. And I did go to an art museum, and I think you could have purchased the pieces, but I'm not sure because they also had like a gallery. But I like to interpret art, and if I felt strongly about a piece, I might buy it if if it's within my price range. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Your favorite book is Leveling Up to Your Best Life by Sheila said, "Oh, thank you, girl. I appreciate it. Yes." Um, so someone told me I should sell art, and I'm like, y'all really want to buy what I'm like painting on my desk right here? I don't think so. I think most people don't feel like their art, if it's not at a certain level, is should be sold. I'm not doing private consultations. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Um, mhm. I thought about doing them again, but then I decided against it because I mean I don't know. Like sometimes I feel like people just want someone to talk to or to run their scenario over with, and that's why I have the Patreon. You guys can write me over there, and I respond back within that week. Okay. If y'all really want to talk to me, the best way to do that is on my Patreon in the message part because I do check that every week when I go to post. And if you really want, I do have where I write you guys. If you sign up for the tier to get mail, there's different tiers on the Patreon to where every month I mail you a letter. And also you could message me. So there's my Patreon. And I like to decorate my envelopes a little bit and write on fancy stationery and things like that. So your letter is gonna be nice. Um, you said you got a reading from me 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah, I used to do readings, but I stopped. It was very time consuming, and plus, I felt like a lot of times people used to base their entire lives or decision making around people's readings, and so I think people need to be more empowered on their own, and also a lot of people don't really, you know, believe in themselves when they become dependent on readings. A lot of times, those should just be confirmation to what you're already doing or thinking. You said I got a 2022 predictions video. Did all that stuff come true? Did all my 2022 stuff come true? 'Cause I don't even go back and check. I'm like I'm curious to see if y'all know. Is it common for me to bump into supporters when I'm out and about? Sometimes I have before, yes. Hmm. You said in any given situation, you ask what would she would do. That's good. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Hmm. Man, I love the holidays. Me too, girl. He said sometimes people already know the answer, they just want confirmation. Exactly. Hmm. Or some people just want someone to talk to. And some people just want, did I get cheek filler? No, I got fat, baby. Girl, that's fat. This is good old eating, baby. that's not watching what my that's not watching my diet no more. That's how you get them cheek fillers. You just eat. Okay. You want some? Eat. Look, I have a booty too down. Oh my gosh. Um, I was just looking at that the other day. I was looking at my old videos and saw how my face used to be and how it's more saggy a little bit right here. And but it was a lot thinner. But when I gained weight, it just filled out naturally like I had filler. I was like, ooh, it's a good look. And then I had also grew a booty. So even though I'm like a little bit bigger in other areas that I didn't want to grow in, um, I'm happy because I have this and this back here, and I can just look in or you know do wear looser clothes in the areas that got a little extra. But it looks pretty good according to what I feel. I didn't gain it all back. I just feel like I gained I don't even know how much I gained, but I did gain. That's why my face looks a little fuller. Um and I don't mind it. Like when I was thinner, yes, like It feels good to be thin, or but at the same time, you're like always constantly worried about what you're gonna eat. If you don't, da 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 da. If you look fat, and like I do like to watch what I eat, and I don't try to eat stuff that's really bad. Like I'm still vegan or plant based, but I also feel like you can take it a little bit too far, or your life is consumed by it. And I didn't want my life to be consumed by what I ate. So I just, let nature take its course. And this is probably the size that I've been for the majority of my adult life. And because I do fluctuate, but this is my normal size when I'm not on a diet. So I guess that's the best way to explain something. Best way. Like the size you are when you're not trying to lose weight or when you're not gaining weight is definitely your natural size, I'll say. Hmm. You said, are witches real? Who's that? How old are you? Look, depending on how old you are, is how I'm going to answer this question. You said older women, we look better, not too thin. Hmm. Uh-huh. It's like, I want to see how you 32. Okay, good. I'm gonna get you then. Are witches real? You just asked about something. I feel like witches are definitely self-made. If y'all have seen that the new Hocus Pocus 2, the backstory to the Sanderson sisters, I don't know if y'all have watched it yet, but it's definitely interesting. Why a lot of people become witches, why a lot of people study witchcraft, why a lot of people are driven to witchcraft, why a lot of people are attracted to witchcraft. Um, so I do believe that witches are very real because they're self-made. Okay. You say, I know I'm from New Orleans. You say you from New Orleans and you don't believe that witches are real? Okay. Well, to each their own. Have I been to Salem? No, but it is on my list. Okay. You said I have graduated from witch to alchemist. Exactly. Mhm. Like you could have more than one title, or you could graduate. Yes, of course. You say you're from New Orleans and you are a believer. Okay. What to reply to someone who asks if your eyes are fake? Like your contacts? Um, like are you wearing like different color contacts? Okay. I tell people like they know they fake. That's why they ask. So honestly, If they ask, they know they're fake, so you might as well come clean. Like, yes, these are some contact lenses that I like to switch it up. You like them? A lot of people, when you put on the fake stuff, like this, my wig, I used to wear colored contacts. I have on lashes. I have a face full of makeup on. When we put on fake stuff, it's to enhance what we already have. So if you feel like whatever you're putting on is an enhancement of what you already have, then claim it. Don't try to walk around acting like everything you got on is real. If you want to look real, then whatever you do needs to look as natural as possible and as close to real as your fake can get. So if people ask you if something is fake, either they already know it's fake because otherwise they wouldn't ask. So yeah, you got to come clean eventually. It's like, yeah, it's fake. You like it? That's what I always say. If someone asks me if something is real, I'm like, yeah, you like? No, no, it's not. But do you like it? They'll either lie or tell you the truth. But you just told them, yeah, it's fake, but I don't care. Okay. You said in the days of real magic, Salem had a lot of witch trials. Are you sure you 32? Sprinkle, sprinkle. There's been a lot of stuff happening since then. Yes, witches are. I think there are a lot of witches. Like everybody a witch on TikTok. So just go on TikTok and you'll see how many witches is out there. Now they got kid witches. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. A woman thought your contacts were real and kept going on about them. I don't have the heart to tell her they're fake. Oh, well, let her think they're real if it helps her live a better life. I gotta go in a few minutes, y'all. But he said Salem is very congested and expensive. Oh, it is. Hmm. I'm sure it is. It's like a tourist attraction. Thanks for the live. So excited fall is finally here. Yes. Yeah. Like, witchcraft, glam, fake stuff, it's all witchcraft anyway. If you're a Christian and you got on makeup, nails, and hair, you practicing witchcraft. It's called glam, a glamour. So you're tricking men to fall for your seductive ways that are not your natural, divine, God given realness. So if you put on lipstick or eyeshadow or liner or wig or nail polish, you're practicing witchcraft. Contacts, a waist trainer, because your waist ain't that small. A bra, because your waist supposed to be that high up, you're supposed to be hanging. Okay. You put anything on to lie, it's witchcraft. It's trickery. Okay. Even certain perfumes that are created to seduce, it's witchcraft. Uh-huh. Plastic surgery, cosmetic enhancements, it's all witchcraft. But it's good. You said a water bra. You said, at what point does it not become witchcraft anymore? At what point are we going to say, okay, everyone does it, so all of a sudden is it no longer considered witchcraft? So like this whole TikTok trend of everybody doing witchcraft, if everyone starts doing witchcraft, are we going to label it witchcraft still? If everyone starts burning incense and, using crystals and drinking teas and staging and manifesting and creating spells, if everyone was doing that, would it still be called witchcraft? Uh, it's an interesting question. Like, where do we draw the line? Okay. Once upon a time, meditating was considered evil, but now people recommend it. They have it in school programs. Da, 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 da. So I feel like the little things that people used to say witchcraft was, they, years ago, is now the everyday norm. It's just what society accepts in large quantities or what technology advances and how people make money in industry, whether people decide that something's good or evil. It's good if it's making money, so therefore it's no longer witchcraft. Okay. At what age should we be teaching this to our daughters? Do you have or could you have movies, books you recommend? I want to start early. I want my daughter to have a mindset for of falling for financial stability, not little. Oh, first of all, I think a society sets a lot of women up to believe um, in romance and like that Prince Charming whole thing. And the whole moral of those romance and Prince Charming movies, the older ones, is that he had a castle and he was rich. And the little girls always focus on the love part and true love and being rescued and stuff like that. You can use regular Disney movies and point out that they have money. These women ain't falling in love with nothing broke. Okay, it's because they only knew him one day. They met the prince one time and wanted to marry him. Why? Because he had money. Um, so you can teach using regular things. Just point out the obvious. Okay. Good one is Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, um, Sleeping Beauty. Well, they didn't know that they had money. They was like they kind of like went on a blind date. They didn't know each other had money until late until he had to kiss her on Sleeping Beauty. But um, the other cartoons are pretty good at teaching if you point out the obvious. You said the Little Mermaid. Yeah, they don't always fall for like the normal people. Like the girl always had to fall in love with a prince. Why can't he just be a shoemaker or something? LR sprinkle sprinkle. Appreciate that. Like why couldn't he be like the horse whisperer or the horse trainer or whatever? Why he gotta be the rich dude? Why she didn't fall for him, the baker? So point that out. Just point out the obvious. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Sprinkle sprinkle. You say you realized Aladdin was a dusty. Yeah, but he used his wish to not be dusty. No, he wished to not be dusty. But through magic, through manifesting, or the genie in the lamp, or he became undusty. He became dust free. So, but he had to tell the truth eventually. But she still wanted him anyway because she had money. But he had the ability to manifest and wish, and he had all the opportunity. He could have he could have gotten permanent money. He just didn't know how to wish correctly. Like Aladdin could have literally said, Genie, I wish to have ideas to make a lot of money. and so that I can buy my own land and become my own sultan or prince. Okay. So he just didn't manifest correctly. He didn't wish on the land correctly. He could have done better. He wasn't thinking. All right. Or he could have said, Jeannie, I wish I would have been born a prince, or I could get my own land and name myself king or whatever, sultan. And then it would have been true. He said he went for a pickled jasmine. What? Well, yeah, he couldn't think straight because he was in love. That's another thing you could teach your children too. When you're in love, you can't make rational decisions. And so a lot of your decisions that you're going to make are going to be emotional. You can also teach them how to make logical decisions. Maybe like you can try adopting a pet, and like they want a certain type of pet, but then you have to remind them of what comes along with taking care of that pet. You know, there might be some, like some people don't get certain pets because they're too hairy or furry, so they opt for short hair versions or small versus large. Picking out the logical fit for your environment and your lifestyle is very important when choosing a partner. So, like, you can also teach your children, when choosing a pet or taking care of a pet, what's best for your home, what's best for your environment, your budget, your responsibility level, the attention you're going to give it. It's like some people will get like a high maintenance pet and they can't take care of it, you know, and ended up have to, you know, do something else because a lot of people can't maintain certain animals. Get the lowest maintenance pet if you don't have a lot of time, energy, or money to spend on taking care of your animals. Get a very low maintenance pet. Some people go get like a goldfish, sprinkle, sprinkle. That's how bad some people are. So the level of relationship or the level of responsibility in a relationship that people can agree to, they should start off with pets. Or if you can't have pets, plants or garden. Some plants need more attention and water and different types of fertilizer or sunlight than other plants. So, like, that's a good way, especially of boys, to teach them how to deal in relationships and what they're willing to do and what they're willing not to do. Like if you have a very demanding wife or girlfriend and she needs constant attention and constant maintenance or constant whatever, whatever, if you're used to something very low maintenance, it's not going to work out. Or you're going to have to switch modes. Okay. Somebody on TikTok said they named their child after me, Ashira. Oh, that's so sweet. Sprinkle, sprinkle. There's somebody walking around inspired whose name was inspired by me. I feel so nice. All right. All right. Well, I'm gonna let y'all go. I gotta go. You said I have a big fan on there. Lots of little. Oh yeah. I don't even have TikTok. I ain't gonna lie. I don't have TikTok anymore. But I'm glad that people are out there, liking what I do still, and always will. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. And y'all, all the links are in the description, and also try to put them in the permanent comments, and they're also all throughout the chat. So y'all can go back and reread the live feed if you like, or just click on the description bar. All these books and things that most of the things that I mentioned are in there, unless it's vintage or something. But I definitely appreciate you guys, and Hope y'all are enjoying this beautiful fall weather that we're having, especially if y'all are in the South. We got a little cool front. So I'll see y'all on the next one.